Good day, Gold Investment Letter. This is your editor, Eric Mashinsky. It is the day after Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Merry Christmas. If I missed you yesterday, happy holidays and upcoming New Year. I may even attach, there's a little 7-minute video that I spontaneously just did yesterday morning and sent that out as like my Christmas note to friends and family. I'll throw it on there just in case you guys want to hear it. It's kind of some of the little messages that I've gotten for me personally around Christmas just this year. It usually changes and everything else. So every year I get little tidbits of fresh information from above, and that was just me sharing kind of my own situation. Feel free if that's of interest. I do put some of the personal things, more in the I call it spiritual realm, quantum physics. I put that in that very lowly followed Phenom Life YouTube channel. But if you like it, check it out. Otherwise, this is the one that I want to share with you guys because we have a dichotomy. I have a dichotomy. For those of you that are just in the mining and metals area and have been with me whatever length of time it has been, we've had our winners. We've had our focus minings and our metallices, and certainly the people that are in our premium and elite membership have had those that have gone up, 10, 15, 5 times this last year to make up for some of the sins of the shit stocks that we own. I'm not going to make excuses for that. I do only really share what comes up, that I want to continue to keep you guys engaged and more of a macro type of situation. Obviously, I've been a massive proponent of Bitcoin for years here. I know there are many free investors that took me up even back in like 2018, 19, where I had petitioned this story of if you have a child under the age of like 13, 14, especially if they're very young, when Bitcoin was around 5,000. And I said, just buy your child one Bitcoin. If you can afford to lose 5 grand, just do that. And if I'm right, it will pay for their college education. And I'm talking about a PhD or medical degree from Harvard, not a community college in Ontario. Okay. And it looks like that is going to end up being true. So, those of you that have just been open minded with me, despite, we're in a business with junior mining exploration companies that is one of the worst businesses in the world. It reminds me of the movie business. They both suck, and I've been involved in both of them. However, it has also helped me create wealth because we can go further down the risk spectrum, which we do here. And we've had over the past, the letter has been launched in 2011 at the top of the bull market in everything from rare earths to gold and silver. October, I believe it was 2011 is when I launched this newsletter. It was the best thing that ever happened because over the next 4 years, I had to suck it up and decide if I was going to build this thing up in a tough environment. Got some relief from the market gods between 2012 and 13 when we had a company called Vinyata go from 18 cents to $5. It was the main company that I covered. I was the only one out there, and that took our subscribership from maybe 250 people, 150 people that were like ex-clients of mine as a broker and friends and things, up to maybe 700 or 800, and a lot of those people were Canadians, and everybody had a good taste in their mouth. And then the gold investment letter grew from there. And the growth areas have slowed during the bear market, but actually I put a lot of money into advertising and growing the gold investment letter over the last couple of years, because at some point we are going to have a better market, and I am a believer in this space. I'm lucky, and I just want to bring this to your attention, guys. I mean, it's just up to you what you want to do. But I have two other newsletters, and just in the last quarter, I have banked 30x profits on a quantum computing company's warrant on the NASDAQ, Rigetti. I've banked 18 to 22x on another quantum computing company's warrant called D-Wave QBTS. I've been covering those for over a year in eliteinvestments.com. That website has got a much smaller readership, but it's also focused on more sophisticated people in the business of investing, family offices, RIAs, fund managers, high net worth, ultra high net worth individuals. But you're welcome, whoever you are, to go on there. And actually, I'm not pushing a premium service. It's just, I really have enjoyed being able to talk about whatever I want cross sector on there because my background is pretty varied, and some of the biggest wins I've had in the world, well, they were in mining up until 2021, which is when I had the largest winners of my career in crypto. But even before all of that, I go back to my first 10 bagger. My first 10 bagger, I believe, was Land Optics. And that was an Ethernet play backed by George Soros. I was a broker, and that was going into the 2000 internet bubble. And I remember calling into my assistant for a quote because it's still, there weren't even like cell phone quotes at that time. And it was trading at 44 bucks a share. And we had bought it at between 4 and 5. And I said, call everybody and tell them I want to sell 15% of it just to lock in, a bunch of profits. And it all popped and came back down. And I lost all my money that I made. And I made so much money for people and we gave it all back. These are the type of lessons, though, that I've had over and over. And I believe I have grown and evolved to the point where what we do here, I could talk to two people from the gold investment letter. I could talk to 20 people. I could talk to 200 people. Your experience is going to depend on a number of different factors, right? But what I bank on is this. First of all, I have not taken on any sort of like marketing situations in a while where I get paid from a sponsorship from a public company to talk about it or whatever. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because I make it clear and made it clear to public companies that like if your stock gets to a full value, I'm not buying it anymore. I'm not telling my people to buy it. But usually if I'm going to buy those anyway and they're going to help pay some bills, I've done that in the past, on and off, and there have been years, especially when crypto started hitting in 2020, early 21. A contract ended with Newfound Gold. That we got involved in that at a buck 67. It went to 14 bucks. So, like, if I could figure out scenarios or could have figured out those and got a marketing sponsorship and then relayed that information, but stopped recommending it around 4 bucks because I'm like, it went up too much too fast. I don't know where it's going from here in terms of how high. I thought it was going higher, and then everybody could make money. So it's not like the free e-letter people. I don't do anything to like dump on you. I'm not trying to pump up Metalis so I can sell my position or Phenom resources or something like this. I am first and foremost an investor. I give an edge, I believe, to my elite and premium members often. And that a lot of times just means there's runway to build positions in good things. And I cover maybe 15% of what we do here in the free e-letter, but uh, I've learned how to much better take profits in things in volatile areas with big moves. And that is a very good, I think, thing that I'm not afraid to talk about. When we have a frothy environment and a bubble, finally, at some point in the metals and mining companies, you're not going to hear me continuing to pump you guys to buy stuff. It's going to be saying caution, pump the brakes, take profits. And so I'm as authentic as I am and as I can be with you guys. And I believe I do have one ability that is really important when you're dealing with like venture capital style investing, which is really what the juniors are. You have to make multiple bets. You're going to have guaranteed a percentage of those are not going to work. They're going to go down 50 to 100%. We usually don't have too many that actually go bankrupt. There's been, I can't even count it. I could count it on one hand, maybe even on three fingers, the deals that actually went to like zero in the last 13 years. But, whatever. If something goes down 70, 80, 90% and it's not coming back, it's basically a bust, right? It doesn't matter if you have the ones that smoke 5, 10, 20, 50 times your money. And we've had those repeatedly. The most recent one, though, was in crypto that I covered here. Cypherpunk Holdings for years, HODL. And a lot of you owned it. I've gotten awesome messages back. But even my elite and premium members who they've heard me for 2 years, probably every month or two, buy more HODL, don't sell it, buy more HODL, don't sell it. It turned into Soul Strategies. This is symbol CYFRF in the US and HODL in Canada. And sure enough, the stock that was accumulated between six, that's the lowest I bought it, Canadian, and 14, maybe 13 is the highest I bought it and recommended it during the last year and a half. All of a sudden today it's $2.50. And it's a big winner. And so it 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 covers a lot of sins, if you will. We're going to continue to have those at the Gold Investment Letter. But in the meantime, a lot of the ones that I cover, especially here where we have a broader group, and I know that there are fund managers and family offices and ultra high net worth individuals that can't buy, that stuff. Um, I cover the bigger ones, some of the larger companies that are liquid, like Leguin Mining, which I really love at these prices, and others. And I actually have a surprise, if you will, coming up. It's probably something that free e-letter members are not going to hear about until at least like for about a month, because I have to give my elite and premium members a chance to accumulate a large position in a New York Stock Exchange, Toronto Stock Exchange gold play that I think will be one of the biggest winners of my life, and is widely owned by the smartest institutions in the world. It's already got an incredibly massive gold asset and is levered to the price of gold. So, things like that are coming up. But just FYI, eliteinvestments.com, if you want some tech plays, and we've been cleaning up the amount of money we've made in the quantum computing and AI plays. And I've even mentioned I had so much conviction in SoundHound AI. I brought it to you guys here just 3, 4 months ago at $5. It just hit 25. So I like to slide a couple things in here, but I know you guys are metals investors and I don't want to just get into all kinds of crypto and tech. But my background is as a tech VC, um, and angel investor, which I still am today. And then, the mining is still my baby, but crypto has even trumped my tech investing, meaning Web3 and digital assets and things of that nature have been an obsession of mine, particularly over the last 5 years. And it's made me the most money. And I decided in early 23, late 22, to officially launch Phenom, Phenom, crypto.com. And so you're welcome to go there and sign up. We just had a deal, a small token. I was just locking in 14x profits yesterday from a pick that we started to buy in late August, September, October, 14x, and that happens. It's going to happen even more coming up in the crypto arena. But a lot of that is, I try to educate here about the importance of Bitcoin, which is really, to a lot of people, it's a competitor of gold. And so when it's taking market share from gold, I believe they're compatible assets, but it is very much should be in the conversation. I've been saying this for years. I'll continue to cover Bitcoin here, but I'm not going to get into the highly speculative stuff or the altcoins. So if there's an interest of any of you, goldinvestmentletter.com is my number one priority in 2025. Phenom Crypto is going to be number two, Elite Investments number three. And I'd love to build that back up to a very robust audience, because I take times where I just don't even write there, but I've been active because there's been these wonderful situations that are highly liquid, trading hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And I would show you my screen. I'm not going to do it right now, but my Robinhood accounts. I wanted to go back to my roots and say, okay, well, we think we have the edge on these little companies or whatever, but what are my skills as an investor, trader, speculator if I go on Robinhood where I can't buy any OTC companies? All of them are in the hundreds of millions or billions of dollars in market capitalization. How could I do there? And my account is up 140% this year. And it's from some of these quantum computing plays, AI, the Oklo, which I talked about here, which is a nuclear fission deal. So I plan on moving some of the more listed larger plays that have anything to do with mining and metals here back to the gold investment letter, and you guys are going to get some of those. I know some of these are very small companies and people just, it's just not worth your time. For me, though, you look at like that 14x that hit with the token, it's very similar to what I do here with some of these juniors. I work, I work hard in accumulating and disposing of positions that are too large to actually be done all at once or all in a week. I bought that particular token. Saros is its name, Saros. Started buying that at 0.0015. It hit 2.024 cents the other day, but a lot of liquidity. I bought 21 million tokens, and that took me 2 months just buying in like 500, 700, whatever. But now, I'm banking 300,000 in profits. That's a lot of money for anybody. I like to play though. That's part of the situation. Not everybody can. And even on Phenom Crypto, if you join the premium and you get our model portfolio there, a big part of that are the top 60 coins that I like the best. So they're very liquid. Then we have mid caps between 100 million and a billion. And then we have the micro cap gems that are the really tiny ones. But that alt season that you hear about where shit gets insane, I don't play meme coins. It's not my thing, but I buy fundamental businesses that have tokens with hopeful utility that are cheap, undiscovered, and that could go up like I had happen in 2021, where I locked in profits up to 650 times my money on a little tiny coin called Bakery Swap. And times are changing, guys, too. But gold is gold. And you're going to see me if you follow me on X, which I hope you do. It's gold, GOLD invest LTR at gold invest LTR. And you'll see me jump into these conversations with my crypto brethren that don't know what the hell they're talking about when it comes to gold. Gold and Bitcoin are very compatible. And so please jump on there. I get a little bit more into tech and maybe some personal jokes and things of that nature on at Phenom Investors, PHNEM, PHN, PHENOM Investors at Phenom Investors. That's actually my oldest X handle. And there's where I focus a lot on the crypto plays and some of those and, bring that information out. YouTube has become a very good focus for me. Gold Investment Letter has a YouTube page. It'd be great if some of you start to continue to follow me there because I do put up free content from time to time that I try to give those that are on YouTube like a heads up. Like, say, for example, when I was going to be putting an update out on Metalis, which I remain extremely bullish for 2025. Um, I was putting out something new, but I did the video where I published it a day early on YouTube. So people, if they liked what they heard, they could buy some before I sent it out to the email list. And then, the email list, you guys have a lot of buying power because we've got tens of thousands of people that read and open our emails and listen to our videos. And I'm really grateful for that. I'm super grateful for those of you that are here and that are around. Over the years, we've had tons of ups and downs. I've had my mistakes. I've done things, at times where it was like, just a big fail. Carlisle Commodities comes to mind from late 2023, I believe it was. And I'm still sitting on my stock though, and rode this thing down with you guys. I'm not there pumping it and selling it to you. That I can assure you. Um, But yeah, that was a fail. There are others that are fails. But my promise to you guys is that if you're playing along in multiple deals in the timeline and under the buy up to price, that's so key that I mention these deals, over time we'll make money because I make money and I'm not going to send stuff out that I don't believe in. I don't need to. I don't need to do this newsletter. I don't need to do shit. Okay. I'm so lucky and blessed, and all of the big wealth that I've made have been from speculating, investing, and trading in the capital markets. It's not been from just like selling subscriptions to special reports and my services, even though that has kept me afloat during certain times when it was rough. And certainly early on when I transitioned from being a broker back in 2011. So I'm so grateful for that. And I really, I'm going to be doing some accounting shifts going forward where any subscription revenue that comes in on any of my platforms is all just going into the Phenom Foundation and going to help things like dog rescues, traumatic brain injury, sex trafficking, things that have, become close to my heart. I don't, it's not, this is not something where I'm asking you for money. I'm asking you for money because what I believe I do is bring value to the table for you. If you don't see that, that's fine. And take what you can from the free letter. I mean, I try to give ideas, at least somewhat regularly where it's like, hey, I'm pointing this out to you because there's an opportunity here. But I do know this business well. And there's a really good chance in 2025 that we destroy it. But my biggest goal is to be very cautionary and build up cash before the next cliff arrives. Happy holidays, guys. Cheers.